Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another monthly music wrap up where I'll show you CDs and vinyl records that I picked up in the previous month. Obviously, we're talking about October 2024. Um, Pretty big month for music, new music re-releases, all sorts of stuff. Um, I got, I picked up a lot of vinyl. And I've already done separate videos. I was in Atlanta earlier last month to see Jeff Lynne's ELO, and I went to some record stores down there. My buddy Alex was here. He gave me 7 or 8 records himself. Some CDs that I'm not going to show. My buddy Steve, who used to have a YouTube channel, sent me a huge box of CDs that I just can't even get into showing a full video for. I haven't even touched all of them. Some of them I've already given away to a buddy of mine, my cousin Ethan, just because they were just things that I wasn't interested in. So I've received a huge box of CDs from Steve at the beginning of the month. Very, very kind. But yeah, I mean, I've got several things here to show. Some things that were on an Amazon sale, a couple of new albums, and a box set here that I'm really happy that I'm still digging into. So let me start. I've got 3 quick CDs here, individual CDs. The first, let me go ahead and start with my cousin Ethan. He gave me Creed. This Human Clay. This was the big album by Creed. Scott Stapp, Mark Tremonti. I liked Creed a lot as a kid. This has the hits: Are You Ready? What If? Beautiful. With Arms Wide Open, Higher. This was the big album. So I'm really happy to have that. So thank you a lot, Ethan. I picked this up. I meant to get this when it came out, and I remember when I bought it on vinyl last year, it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and finally I canceled it and never went back to get it. But I saw Stephen Schnee did a video talking about Vince Guaraldi and all the craft reissues, and so I finally picked up a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. This is Vince Guaraldi. This is the 50th anniversary. I think first time ever really on this kind of format. It has 21 tracks. I actually just listened to it today now that we're in November. Really, really good. It sounds great. It's all of the Vince Guaraldi soundtrack stuff for the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, and it's really, really good. So Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. And then lastly, in terms of the individual CDs, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second, this is a new album by one of my favorite groups, the Wild Feathers. Now, if you don't know the Wild Feathers, or if you're new to my channel, I talk about them as much as I can. They're a group out of Nashville, 5-piece band, 3 lead singers, essentially 3 songwriters in the band, with Ricky Young, Joel King, and Taylor Burns, rounded out by Brett Moore and Ben Dumas. And they are just a solid, solid rock and roll band. If they're not Southern rock, I would say they fall more into like the Tom Petty vein. They also have a little bit of a Beatles influence, especially on the second track on this called Pretending. Great piano ballad. But they have harmonies, kind of like the Eagles, where it's 3-part harmonies. But again, they've kind of got that Tom Petty feel as well with the energy. Solid group. I wish they would tour closer to me. They're always in Texas, always in Tennessee. I would love for them to come here in Virginia. And if you remember, at the beginning of the year, I bought one of these guys' guitars. It's a Gibson J model from their writer and singer Ricky Young, who I've kind of had some communication with. But yeah, I purchased a guitar from one of these guys. So this is their latest album, Sirens. Really, really good, off of New West Records. So check that out. And lastly, in the CD camp, and this is the big box set I was referring to, I finally was able to get Bob Dylan, the 1974 live recordings. This is Bob Dylan and the band, their 1974 tour that kind of corresponded with the album that they put out together called Planet Waves. That was the album that had, Forever Young was on that, On a Night Like This, Hazel, Wedding Song, Dirge, just some good stuff on there. And this is the kind of, some people might say it's the copyright dump of material, whatever you want to call it. I think it's really, really good. You can really see Dylan exploring with the band, how to do songs, what the set list is going to be. And if you know the album Before the Flood, that's what this tour is. That, the 1974, 75 album Before the Flood. The difference is this box set does not include the band songs. It's only Bob Dylan songs. And you can see there's the CDs, 27 CDs, and then it comes with a booklet there. I have not actually read the booklet yet because I've been listening to a lot of this while I've been working. I'm 5 CDs into this so far. I'm trying to take it very, very slowly. So you can see like each CD has a really cool picture of Bob on it. This is a great photo right there, kind of similar to the Budokan photo. There's Bob Dylan with Robbie Robertson of the band. There is Comrade Bob Dylan. And then it shows on the back the date and what the auditorium was that they were playing. Really good stuff. And even just within 5 discs, you can hear the band changing. I mean, in particular, I listened to disc 5 today. And it was the song Ballad of a Thin Man, just how much they had changed it since the first show. And so far, the set lists are fairly similar, but they do vary. But I would only recommend it for Dylan completists because it is quite overwhelming. And then it also kind of came with this little thing that shows the dates and what's on each disc from that tour. So very, very happy to have that. It kept going out of stock, and the price kept getting jacked up. But anyway, let me move into the vinyl. Amazon was having a really, really good sale earlier in the month where they were doing a buy three get 2 essentially. So you were essentially getting the 3rd record for free. Really, what they were doing was they were picking records that were about $21 or so. It would knock off $7 off of each record. You'd end up saving like $20. So it wasn't, huge items that were on this sale. And you kind of had to pick and choose. You had to kind of look. There wasn't a master list of anything. But I did get 6 records from that sale. Ended up costing about, $40. But this is Miles Davis and John Coltrane, the final tour. It's interesting because like the liner notes show how Coltrane was really kind of becoming his own artist. Miles Davis was feeling like Coltrane was, getting too far ahead of himself. And so you can kind of tell there's some ego on the stage. But it is really good. I really enjoyed it. They do songs like So What, on Green Dolphin Street, All Blues. The thing that's frustrating is that the track On Green Dolphin Street goes from side 1 to side 2, so you have to flip it midway through the song, which is a little weird, but really, really nice to have that. I picked up 2 Bob Dylan albums that I didn't own on vinyl. I'm not a completist with Bob Dylan on vinyl. I've got all the stuff on CD, but this is obviously Highway 61, Like a Rolling Stone, She Belongs to Me, Desolation Row. Excuse me, not She Belongs to Me. That's on Bring It Back Home. Bring It All Back Home, Tombstone Blues, Queen Jane Approximately, Highway 61, one of Dylan's best. And then I got this one right here. I haven't opened it yet simply because I had just listened to it on CD like a week before I got it, but I probably should listen to it to see if it spins well. But this is the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, his 2nd record. Really his really his debut to the audience, to the world as Bob Dylan, really, because his first album was mostly covers. But this has Blowing in the Wind, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, Girl from the North Country, Masters of War, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, Oxford Town, Karina. Just fantastic writing. So a lot of good stuff from a guy that was, 21, 22 years old when this came out. So happy to have that. I also picked up 3 Grateful Dead records. I'm currently playing in a Grateful Dead tribute band. Our first gig is this Thursday coming up. So I got Oxomoxoa. Again, I'm starting to really get into some of the deeper Grateful Dead cuts. Oxomoxoa is a cool one, definitely interesting. This has Saint Stephen on it. It has China Cat, Sunflower, Cosmic Charlie. You see a lot of Pigpen in the group. But one thing that I learned that was interesting is this back cover is really cool. But there's a gentleman leaning up against a horse there, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Vince Guaraldi, who did the Charlie Brown stuff. So kind of a full circle thing there. Really, really cool little tidbit there. Again, part of the Amazon sale, I picked up, what is this? Mars Hotel, right? Yeah, from the Mars Hotel. I know I was missing something. This has Scarlet Begonias, one of my favorite Grateful Dead tunes. Ship of Fools is on here. Loose Lucy. U.S. Blues is a great tune. China Doll. So again, happy to have that one. And then lastly, so many great songs on this record. Shakedown Street. This is the latest reissue in the Rhino reissue series for the 50th anniversary. This has their version of Good Lovin'. This has Fire on the Mountain. This has Shakedown Street on it. This has what is it? I Need a Miracle, Stagger Lee. Just really, really good. Some people kind of malign that album as like the disco Grateful Dead. I don't see that at all. I think it's kind of funky. So thank you, Amazon. My dad gave me this out of the blue. This is pretty cool. I'd never heard of him or the record. This is Ron Sexsmith, Long Player, Late Bloomer from 2011. This was a Record Store Day album a few years back on this really, really cool green wax there. But he's a Canadian singer-songwriter. I really like this album a lot. And I learned that Rusty Anderson from Paul McCartney's band is on this, as is Pete Finney, the pedal steel player who played with Mike Nesmith in the last few years of his life. So thank you, Dad. This is a really cool record. Check it out. I know my buddy Rob at Northern Revolutions told me I would like that record as well, and he was correct. Next, I'll show a record just briefly. I've already shown it in a video. I don't normally do this, but because it's so cool, I did pick up the Long After Dark reissue. This is the website deluxe version that was numbered. Mine's number 2406, if that means anything to you. Obviously, this has the big hit You Got Lucky on there, but it's got a lot of underrated tracks on here, like Change of Heart, I'm Finding Out, A One-Story Town, We Stand a Chance, Straight into Darkness. Just really, really good stuff. I did a video on it if you want to check it out. But if you didn't watch that video and you're new to the channel, even just in the last few days, let me just show you the wax. Because look, that's just so cool. But yeah, the Petty Estate always does a fantastic job on the reissues now that Tom Petty is no longer with us. I did pick up Sirens as well. This is the Wild Feathers on vinyl. This was the, I think, New West Records exclusive, kind of on this cool kind of like copper-ish brown kind of red vinyl. But yeah, nothing really much different between that and the CD other than it being on wax. This was a new color variant of an album by one of my favorite groups, new groups, Camp. It's pronounced Camp with 2 A's. This is their album By and By. This was kind of their breakthrough album. I remember hearing some of these tracks on Sirius XM, and I'm really, really digging it. And that's kind of how I got into them during COVID. Kind of similar wax to the Tom Petty. This is more of like a kind of like a blast versus, you know, kind of like a splatter. Really, really like this. But check out the songs Peach Fuzz and the title track off of this By and By. And that might get you into Camp. So really happy to have that. It is on 2 records too, so it's, you know, it plays really nice off of dual tone music. So very happy to have that finally on vinyl. And then lastly, also on dual tone, this is a new live record by the Lumineers, one of my favorite groups. This is live from Wrigley Field. This was back in September 3rd of 2022 on their Brightside tour, which Brightside is their latest album. 4th album in their discography. It's got tons of tracks on it. It's 3 records. There's the titles if you're interested. They do have a guest appearance from James Bay, who had a big hit with that song Let Her Go, or whatever it was called. Not the song from Frozen. But it is a trifold. This is a big deal for the Lumineers. They sold out Wrigley Field. And obviously they were back after COVID, so it was a very special show for them to be back after, you know, everybody was locked up for a couple of years. And this is also on limited edition vinyl. And look at this. This is just beautiful here. I just absolutely love that. And the record plays great. Very happy with it. Again, all the Lumineers tracks that you want. You know, Ophelia, Cleopatra, Ho Hey, Sleep on the Floor, stuff from their latest album, Submarines, Roller Coaster, Brightside, Where We Are, and Birthday, Remington. Just good stuff. Very happy to have that. And there we go. I had a bunch this month. I will probably have a much lower count next month, just because we're getting closer to Christmas and, trying to save up for Christmas and things like that. Want to be sure that all my funds are appropriately scattered for that. There's obviously Record Store Day on Black Friday. I'm still not sure what I want yet, if I want anything, but I might have a couple of things on Record Store Day, not sure. But yeah, let me know what you think of these. Like I said, it's a lot to digest here. I've listened to everything that I've shown, other than obviously like the Dylan stuff is going to take me some time, and then Freewheeling, Bob Dylan, which I've heard the album a million times. I just haven't heard this particular copy of it. But let me know what you think. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Subscribe if you haven't already. That'll be great. All right. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.